Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we embark on a journey through the ages, uncovering the secrets of our collective past. Today, we find ourselves at the threshold of a fascinating tale, one that will transport us to the realm of the Abbasid Caliphate, an empire that once spanned the vast expanse of the Middle East, North Africa, and beyond. This mighty caliphate, born from the ashes of revolution and nurtured by the confluence of cultures, would go on to leave an indelible mark on the fabric of human history. The Umayyad Caliphate, which had risen to power following the death of the Prophet Muhammad, held sway over a vast territory, stretching from the Iberian Peninsula to the Indus River. However, beneath the surface of this seemingly stable empire, currents of discontent and rebellion were stirring. The seeds of dissent had been sown in the fertile soil of Kufa, a city in present-day Iraq, where the memory of Ali ibn Abi Talib, the Prophet's cousin and son-in-law, continued to inspire loyalty and devotion among his followers. It was amidst this backdrop of simmering tensions that a figure emerged, one who would play a pivotal role in shaping the course of events leading up to the Abbasid Caliphate. Abu al-Abbas as-Safa, a descendant of the Prophet's uncle, Abd al-Muttalib, had been secretly gathering support among the disaffected elements within the Umayyad Empire. His message of reform and justice resonated deeply with those who felt marginalized by the ruling elite, and soon his movement gained momentum, attracting adherents from across the empire. As the Umayyad Caliphate struggled to maintain its grip on power, the Abbasid revolution gained strength, fueled by the charismatic leadership of Abu al-Abbas and his brother, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur. The brothers, who would come to be known as the founders of the Abbasid Caliphate, embarked upon a perilous journey, navigating the treacherous landscape of alliances and rivalries that defined the Islamic world at that time. Their path was fraught with danger, as they confronted formidable foes, including the Umayyad loyalists and other claimants to power. The city of Merv, in present-day Turkmenistan, became a crucial hub for the Abbasid movement, as Abu al-Abbas and his companions worked tirelessly to build a coalition of supporters among the local population. It was here that they forged alliances with influential tribal leaders and cultivated relationships with key figures within the Umayyad administration, gradually undermining the authority of their adversaries. As the Abbasid revolution continued to gain traction, its leaders began to envision a new order, one that would be built upon the principles of justice, equality, and meritocracy. They drew inspiration from the Prophet's own teachings as well as the examples set by the early caliphs, seeking to create a more inclusive and compassionate society. The seeds of this vision were sown in the fertile soil of Khorasan, a region that would become the cradle of the Abbasid Caliphate, nurturing the growth of a civilization that would one day illuminate the world. As the Abbasid revolution gained momentum, Abu al-Abbas as-Safa declared himself caliph in 749 CE, marking the beginning of the Abbasid Caliphate. This pivotal moment was met with a mix of enthusiasm and trepidation, as the new ruler set out to consolidate power and establish a stable government. One of his first acts was to appoint his brother, Abu Ja'far al-Mansur, as governor of Khorasan, tasking him with pacifying the region and securing its loyalty to the new caliphate. The early years of the Abbasid Caliphate were marked by a series of military campaigns aimed at expanding the empire's borders and crushing opposition. In 750 CE, Abu al-Abbas as-Safa led a decisive victory over the Umayyad forces at the Battle of the Zab, near modern-day Mosul, Iraq. This triumph cemented Abbasid control over the region and paved the way for further conquests. As the Caliphate's armies marched eastward, they encountered fierce resistance from local rulers and tribal leaders, but ultimately succeeded in incorporating vast swaths of territory into the empire. The city of Baghdad, founded by Abu Ja'far al-Mansur in 762 CE, would become the epicenter of the Abbasid Caliphate's power and culture. This magnificent metropolis, situated on the banks of the Tigris River, was designed to be a symbol of the Caliphate's grandeur and a hub for learning, art, and commerce. As the city grew in importance, it attracted scholars, poets, and intellectuals from across the Islamic world, earning its reputation as a beacon of knowledge and sophistication. One notable example of the intellectual flourishing that characterized the Abbasid Caliphate was the establishment of the House of Wisdom, a renowned center of learning and translation. Founded during the reign of Caliph Harun al-Rashid, 786–809 CE09 CE, this institution brought together some of the most brilliant minds of the age to translate Greek, Persian, and other texts into Arabic, thereby preserving ancient knowledge and laying the foundations for future scientific and philosophical advancements. The Abbasid caliphs were also patrons of the arts, and their courts were renowned for their opulence and refinement. The Caliph al-Ma'mun, 813–833 CE, in particular, was a generous supporter of poets and musicians, and his court was said to be filled with the sounds of laughter, music, and lively debate. As one contemporary observer noted, the caliph's gatherings were like a garden in full bloom, where the flowers of wit and wisdom blossomed in every direction. As the Abbasid Caliphate continued to expand and consolidate its power, it faced numerous challenges, including internal power struggles, external threats from neighboring empires, and the rise of regional dynasties. Despite these difficulties, the Caliphate remained a dominant force in the Islamic world for centuries, shaping the course of history through its military conquests, cultural achievements, and intellectual contributions. The year 806 CE marked a significant turning point as Caliph al-Mu'tasim moved the capital from Baghdad to Samarra, a city located further north along the Tigris River, in an effort to escape the growing unrest and instability that had begun to plague the metropolis. As the Abbasid Caliphate continued to grapple with internal power struggles and external threats, the once mighty empire began to fragment into smaller regional dynasties. The city of Samarra, which had been the capital since 806 CE, eventually fell out of favor, and in 892 CE, Caliph al-Mu'tadid moved the capital back to Baghdad. This marked a significant turning point as the caliphate's power began to wane and regional leaders started to assert their independence. One notable example of this trend was the rise of the Fatimid dynasty in North Africa, which would eventually challenge Abbasid authority and establish a rival caliphate in Cairo. Meanwhile, the Buyid dynasty, a Shia Muslim family from Iran, gained control over much of Iraq and western Iran, further eroding Abbasid power. Despite these challenges, the Abbasid Caliphate continued to play an important role in Islamic politics and culture, with many notable scholars, poets, and intellectuals still drawing inspiration from its legacy. As one prominent historian of the time observed, the Abbasid Caliphate may have lost its former glory, but its spirit remains, a beacon of learning and refinement that continues to illuminate the world. In 1278 CE, the Mongol Empire, led by Hulagu Khan, sacked Baghdad, marking the effective end of the Abbasid Caliphate. The last Abbasid Caliph, al-Mu'tasim, was executed, and the city was left in ruins. However, the legacy of the Abbasid Caliphate lived on, with many of its cultural and intellectual achievements continuing to shape Islamic civilization. Today, the Abbasid Caliphate is remembered as a golden age of Islamic culture, marked by significant advancements in science, philosophy, and the arts. Its scholars, such as al-Khwarizmi and Ibn Sina, made lasting contributions to mathematics, astronomy, and medicine, while its poets, like Abu Nuwas and al-Mutanabi, continued to inspire literary minds around the world. From its humble beginnings as a revolutionary movement to its rise as a dominant world power, the Abbasid Caliphate left an indelible mark on history. As the great Islamic scholar Ibn Khaldun once said, "The past is a mirror that reflects the present, and the Abbasid Caliphate's legacy serves as a testament to the enduring spirit of human civilization." That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.